Welcome to our, I think, sixth or seventh deal making session. So myself, Tom, and Steve, who is a little challenged when it comes to joining social media, he's trying to log in. So we bring a collective, Tom and I, 20 plus year, and Steve, 80 plus year experience to deal making. Just kidding. He's not that old. He's old, but he's not that old. So we bring our experience as principals, as investors, and Tom is also a broker at EXP, so he understands things from all different perspectives. And purpose of this forum is to help you answer any questions, any tricky things you're trying to figure out on the deals, especially on the commercial side, because we understand most of you made a switch from residential to commercial. There are certain nuances of putting commercial deals together, which are a little more complicated than in residential deals. So we are here to help you out. So I would encourage just everyone to kind of go around the room, spend like 30 seconds introducing yourself, and then we can dive into any questions we can answer. Let's start with Greg Martin.
Okay, my name is Greg St. Martin. I am with EXP for 1 week, so I've just joined you guys. I have 35 years in the business. Been around for a while. 16 years in Chicago, and then the rest out here in Las Vegas. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Nice, thanks, Greg. Jenny, welcome back.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jenny McComas in West LA. I'm an EXP commercial multi-dwelling, multifamily is my specialty. And so I'm working with an advisor. I joined EXP commercial in the spring in April, and I'm cold calling now. So it took me a little while to get there, but I'm there. Well, I don't have a deal yet, but I'm cold calling.
Cold calling, go around the block, ring the bell, do whatever you gotta do. That's the way it
Exactly.
happens. Next, I see Dimitri. Dimitri, great mugshot, I must say. Like, really?
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to fix it, but I don't think I can do it from this screen right here.
So just switch on your camera. Let us see if you're, let us see the real smile. Like all that we're seeing right now is.
Well, the shot appeared when I turned on my video, so I'm not really sure what's going on with my video. If I turn it off, then I just black screen, so I'm not really. So I turn it off and it's a black screen. So
hey, Dimitri, just tell us who you are, what market you're in.
Yeah, I'm a real estate broker in Detroit, Metro Detroit, suburbs. Been doing it for 25 years already, almost. Mostly residential, doing some commercial, multifamily, looking at few deals right now with multifamily, package deal. So maybe somebody can help me with a financing on, I think it's going to be close to like 40 units, three buildings, how to approach it better way when you're financing multiple properties at the same time. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Fantastic. Great, thank you. Go around the room. I see Ines.
Hi, everybody. I've been away for a little bit, but I'm back. So I'm new to commercial real estate, new to EXP. I started in spring, right along the same time as Jenny, I believe. Have learned a lot and currently am still working with a buyer, understanding why everybody shies away from buyers, but it's okay. I love the challenge. Currently, we've looked at several locations, and mostly it's industrial and multi. Thank you. So right now we're actually looking at a piece of, and I also do leasing. I have two clients that are lease. We're trying to find leases in commercial retail, and I'm with EXP since the spring. So I'll gladly ask some questions later regarding the commercial deal.
Fantastic. Welcome, Ines. Lisa.
Hey, sounds like Ines and Jenny and myself all started. I'm on the residential side, still learning commercial. I think Jenny made the flip. In any case, I'm just loving the company and always willing to learn. I'm in Long Island, New York. I have a commercial deal and still trying to finishing up my listings to make the jump.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And just to clarify, I've never worked in commercial, residential.
Who's next, Garv?
I see Tom next. Tom, do you want to say a few words?
Well, JD or yeah.
Me?
Sorry, yeah, Tom, didn't mean to interrupt. I just didn't know if we went around the room already.
Well, I'm Tom Wynn. I'm one of the part of the consulting group here, and in a commercial real estate broker for about 20 years, and been I recently just closed my first deal with EXP after joining, which is an assisted living facility in Fullerton, 144 units. That took a while, very complicated deal, but finally crossed the finish line there. So yeah, anyone who wants to know more about it, just let me know.
Great.
Congratulations again on that, Tom.
Thank you.
Big congrats. It was a nice 10 million, I believe, correct?
Yeah, about 11. Yep.
For you. Congratulations.
Great, thank you. Next, D Moore.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is JD Moore. I'm in the Central Valley in California, mostly agriculture around my area. Joined EXP in January of this year, mostly on the residential side. Run a referral business majority of the time, but looking to do a couple commercial deals. I think on the residential side, we get like 5 or 7 commercial deals that we get to do as a residential agent. But yeah, just here to learn. It's like my second time joining you guys. So thank everybody for having me.
Great, thank you. Mike.
Hey, how's it going? JD, just so you know, you can do as many commercial deals as you want. There's no limit anymore.
Oh, nice. I'll definitely note that.
But yeah, I'm Mike. I've been in real estate since 2003. I started a property management business. Through my career, basically, I've owned a liquor store, a cigar store, my property management business, a few other small businesses, retail plazas, multifamilies. I've only done commercial. I've never sold a house. I've sold some businesses too. So I do a little of everything. I have a group going up here in New England. We're finally starting to get commercial guys that work together. And I'm the chairman with James for the self-storage mobile home park for commercial. And I will be, if it ever gets approved, the chairman of the property asset management group.
Great. With all your business lines, I have a tip for you. It sounds like CBD stores will be on rise, so you may want to diversify. Hi, Leah Ash.
Hey, everybody. My name's Leah. I am in Northern Virginia in Maryland. I've been in residential about 3 years, transitioning over to commercial. I'm currently invested in some multifamily syndications, and I'm really interested in learning more about the medical as far as how to evaluate them and things of that sort. I am also a CCIM candidate, so I'm sort of drinking from the fire hose in many areas right now. So really looking forward to learning from you guys.
Great. Welcome. Last but not least, Charmaine.
Hi, everybody. I'm Charmaine. I'm new to EXP as well. I joined in May of this year. I'm mostly on residential right now, but I'm definitely interested in getting into commercial. So I kind of wanted to come and just absorb you all's experiences and what there is to know about the commercial side of real estate, because I am definitely interested in making the transition.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Charmaine. Steve is actually on speaker on my speaker, so he's gonna be talking on my channel. Steve, you want to introduce yourself to everyone, please?
Yeah, Steve Hopkins here, and based here in Southern California.
That was it.
That was it. This is the guy I said, comes with 80 years of experience. Steve, how? I won't get there. Nothing. I haven't spoken with you in such a long time.
Yeah, it's been crazy. We've been busy. So, how is the function in Dallas?
I attended that, and a couple other people I think may have attended that who are on here, and it was fantastic. There were about 7,000 people that came out from Realty, and commercial had a nice event with Jason Gessing and Jeff Whiteside were presenting at the one of the ballrooms on Friday, the last day of the event, which was a week ago. But yeah, did anyone else go to the Dallas event? I didn't know if anybody else could make it, but yeah, I mean,
what was Puerto Rico? Somebody told me there was something in Puerto Rico.
Those are like different events. They have like smaller events in Puerto Rico, but there is an event going on in Las Vegas called EXPCon. So for people who are new to EXP that want to be at the international EXP event, that's coming up in early November, I think the 9th through the 12th.
Yeah, last time I was in Puerto Rico, there was actually prostitutes at baggage claim. But that's we want to get into that. Beautiful country.
All right.
Or wait, it's a U.S. Yes?
We're gonna have to. Gaurav wanted to say something. Gaurav?
Oh, okay.
No, Steve, I'll call you for a response on that later on. We are on a recorded line right now. Anyway, guys, let's get started. So who wanna go first?
All right, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll jump. So one of the properties that we're looking at for my client, the buyer client, and I'm in Illinois, and has leases. Now, I know we have to do the estoppel. We haven't gotten to the point yet. We're currently discussing an offer price, but can someone walk me through about those leases and how difficult they can be to break if in fact that becomes fruition?
Steve, do you want to take that? Steve?
What about, I mean, did they have longer terms?
Yeah, one is through 29, but most of them end 23. So we have the total of 7 units. They're commercial, but the 2 of them go to 29, and then the other 2 go to 23. The other ones go to 23.
So does this have to be, do they have to be out in order? What is this? Is this a scrape of an existing facility?
Well, the buyers want to change it to an event space. And so they would take the top floors, but so as it stands, it's okay that they're leased because they'll get income while they're going through the process of getting everything set up and ready to go, should it happen. And we're looking at a $5 to $6 million deal. So so that's my concern, having never done this. I want to hear the experiences of when it comes to leases, as to how that goes through.
Well, if they have those terms and they're set, then you just have to negotiate some kind of buyout.
Okay.
Years ago here in California, when the redevelopment agencies were, before they were abolished, you could actually condemn out leases. So a lot of the projects that we did, where we've been involved in some B malls where, you know, you have existing tenants. Now, all those folks have rights, meaning there was a specific formula. Even with some on month to month, there was a specific formula. Obviously, the less, the shorter the lease term, the less, you know, compensation. But there would basically be, you know, a move out expense and then, you know, relocation. So in some cases, you know, you may be able to make a good deal with somebody because maybe they have a lease that's got 3 years, but maybe they're not doing that. You know, I mean, we had a project in San Bernardino in a really tough area where we were getting rid of some people that were in houses that had leases with just, you know, colored TVs, just, you know, to get them out of there. So you just have to figure out, you know, how many there are and how much time is left, and then just negotiate with them if the project that's going to be built or the change in use is going to be built is profitable enough that makes sense, then that would just be a cost of the project in buying out those leases.
And you may, just to add to what Steve just said, you may also want to look at those tenant sales. Like, I don't know if they are reporting sales sometimes.
Oh, right, a percentage, yeah, a percentage base,
So
sure.
you got to look at the sales and see what kind of a business are they doing? Like, are they even profitable? What if some of them are not? Right. I'm involved in a lease negotiation right now for a portfolio, and I'm looking at like all these different properties where if some of the leases, you know, the tenants are not even, you know, hitting their occupancy costs, right? Or the occupancy cost is too high, they would just want to leave. And you may be able to even negotiate, and have they been paying rent in the last 2 years? Extremely critical, right? Were there ways where you can put them in default?
Yeah, one of them, well, the two first floors are, one is a restaurant and one is a cafe, non-liquor. So that, to me, exactly what I was thinking of is, I don't know how profitable they are given the situation with the restaurants, especially in Illinois. So
liquor would be doing just fine because all the liquor stores they posted skyrocketing sales over the last year and a half, right? Restaurants, you're definitely going to watch out.
yeah. And so that's what my thought was, perhaps that they are looking to get out of the lease because of their sales. So that's good. And that
you might also want to ask the seller. The seller will probably have the best information on who's doing well and who's not doing well, who's paying rent and who's not paying rent. And if maybe you can ask the seller to as a condition of your offer, a seller will vacate, will negotiate lease terminations or deliver the property vacant upon, you know, close of escrow. And that's done a lot in residential development offers, where, you know, I'm selling an office building right now where a 6-story office building, a medical office building. The buyer's a developer. They're going to build apartments, and the condition of their offer is that the seller vacates the existing tenants. The seller didn't agree to that, but I'm saying that, you know, the buyer did put that in their offer, and that will give you you know, information on whether the seller thinks that they can vacate those tenants or not. You know, so.
Well, that's very good, because yeah, it's not, they're waiting for our offer. They really haven't asked.
You also should find out on the restaurant tenant, you know, if they paid for, you know, who paid for the tenant improvements or, you know, fixtures and equipment. Because if the tenant paid, you know, for that, then, you know, that's a cost that they incurred. So you've got to find that out, depending on what kind of restaurant it is.
Okay. Good advice. Thank you so much.
Typically, we charge like a few points on every lease negotiation, but here, since you're joining the first time, we'll let it go. Again, a good question. I'm sure a lot of people would be running into these situations right now. You know, you're either working on an existing property where there are X number of tenants who have stopped paying rent, or are kind of, you know, playing catch up. A lot of tenants are playing catch up, right? Restaurants tenants, especially, you know, they are struggling. You know, I'm working on buying a restaurant where prime location in New York City, right? They expanded this massive, nice outdoor patio, and they are like, okay, the word is back, and we'll start doing our sales again. But you know what they're running into? They can't find employees. They cannot find employees right now. So their outdoor cafe,
Right.
which can seat like
Yeah,
100 people, is sitting vacant, and you know, they just don't know what to do. So it's a very common thing that's happening. So you gotta like really look at the historicals, what they were doing before COVID. Like, will they be able to ramp it back to that business or not? And then figure out what's the right strategy to negotiate.
Yeah, it's an absolute disaster now in Hawaii, as an example. You know, a lot of these people that they can actually make more, you know, without working, and so restaurants that could be completely full have sections that are closed because they can't get the help, and you know, it takes 2 hours. I've talked to somebody who said it took them an hour just to get in the bar, let alone, you know, 2 hours for the restaurants, and so it's an uneven time now, people figuring out, you know, what to do.
I know that's also coming up is the moratorium on evictions in certain cities, especially Los Angeles. They're expecting to be flooded with evictions and obviously people that are going to hold out. Have you guys heard anything about anything on the multifamily front about distressed assets or anything coming up down the pike? Any word on the street, Gaurav or Steve or Tom?
I haven't heard anything. Yeah.
Multifamily is really strong. The default rates are very low. Yeah, I mean, that'll probably be the last product to go to foreclosure, amongst other products.
So if you're talking about multifamily, can I just jump in? I've heard it's hard to finance them right now because banks do not want to touch them, specifically because of some of them afraid of the default ratios and eviction problems, or it's still, you know, hit and miss.
I'm actually seeing the reverse. I mean, multifamily is really easy to finance, from what I'm seeing.
So any recommendation to go to? Who do you guys use?
I mean, almost all the lenders do multifamily right now. It's the first product they'll do. Yeah, it really depends on location. A lot of lenders just won't go into certain C areas or other than that. But in the metro areas, multifamily should be pretty. I mean, almost all lenders do it. And if you need a, you know, if you need a referral, just send me an email and I'll find your lender in your area.
Okay.
And I see that Gary, Gemma, and we have Melis have joined from, I think Melis, sorry, Melcy. Sorry, I always forget how to pronounce your name. You're in San Diego, correct?
Yeah, Melcy Bibsha. Right now, I just moved to Jacksonville, Florida. But I'm licensed in a couple of states. But yes, San Diego too.
Oh, you're in Jacksonville now. Great.
Yes,
Gary,
sir.
where are you, Gary?
It's Greg, and I'm in DC.
Oh, I said Gary. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
It's Greg Gray. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're in DC.
Yeah, no problem.
Gemma?
I'm in Orange County. I'm in Costa Mesa, Newport Beach area.
Great.
I do have a question though.
Yep.
I do have a question though.
Yep, we're waiting.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I'm just transferring from moving over from residential to commercial, and working on a lease and a business broker deal. But as far as leases, and when the listing said it's a full build out, does that mean that the space is just raw space and the tenant would have to build out the space to their needs or specification?
I'm sorry, come again. I missed my internet, I think.
When the listing says that there's a full build out, does that mean that the tenant has to build the space to their needs or specification?
It could be interpreted the other way. Like, is the listing, so the listing from the landlord say full build out?
Yes.
It could mean that maybe they've already built it out to certain specs. Like, can you give little more context on this property?
It was a space that my client wants to use as a restaurant. They have a catering business, and he's looking for something with a full kitchen. And I did run across a space that was meeting their needs as far as the cost per square foot and the size, but it also mentioned full build out, tenant full build out. But when I talked to the listing agent, they were saying that it was just raw space. So does that full build out mean that my tenant would have to bring in his equipment and build the space out to his needs? Or would it be something the landlord would do?
So once again, you have to clarify, because if the listing says full build out, it can be interpreted either ways, right? It could be, were you trying to say something? So you need to just clarify that, hey, is it a build out? If you're in the business of real estate, so go check it out. Like, just check out the space with your tenant and see what is built there, what's not. So it shouldn't be, that complicated.
Okay.
But if he's saying it's a raw space, then yes, the expectation is that your tenant will go and will build it, will put the Ansel system and the grease interceptor and whatever fit out needs to be done.
Right.
And then it becomes a negotiation. You may ask the landlord that give us X amount of TI, tenant improvement allowance, for us to do it. So, it should be pretty straightforward.
The TI could be free rent for 3 to 6 months or something like that, or can the TI be?
Depends how much leverage you have, and this is a tenant's market, so you have more leverage. You may want to ask for both. You may want to ask for TI plus free rent, two separate things.
Okay.
You can actually, again, depends how much leverage you have.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, where is this restaurant? Where is this located? What you're talking about?
This one particular restaurant is located in the state of Maryland, in Laurel, Maryland. And the listing agent said that it was raw space, but I thought the build out meant that the landlord would build it out to my tenant needs, but in that particular instant, it wasn't the case.
Yeah, just check it out. Go and check out the space and see. Ask him to send pictures. Nowadays they're doing like full walkthroughs, like over Zoom call, or they have these pre-recorded videos as well for the spaces. So just check it out.
Okay. And you are?
Me?
Yes, your name?
My name is up on the screen. If you want to make a tongue twister, say Gaurav. But if you want to keep it easy, straightforward, just call me GK.
Okay. No, I don't see a name. That's what I was asking. Okay.
And if
how long you been with EXP?
See, one thing that goes without saying, if you guys need any help, right, any more detailed help in figuring these situations, right, you should reach out to us. You can engage us, right? We can help you out putting these deals together. We can walk you through the entire process, whether it's putting a deal together for a specific tenant, We have a lot of experience doing restaurants and retail and offices and multifamily. So, we can answer your questions here, but if it could become more deeper that, hey, I really don't know what to do, right? I don't understand. There's a lot of different terminology involved. Then the best, you'll be, you don't want to, you want to make sure that you're making your client happy, whether it's a tenant or it's, and if you need professional services, we can definitely help you on that aspect. Okay.
I see LaDonna just joined. LaDonna, please announce yourself.
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone.
And where are you from? And who are you?
I am based here in Chicago. I focus on commercial, also a commercial loan originator. And I'm here to hear from you wonderful, beautiful minds.
LaDonna, are you working on any deals right now?
I am.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah, I've got one value add hotel that just actually hit my desk 2 days ago. It's in California. And so the client is in need of actually 11, actually between 11 and 15 million to pretty much take out the existing mortgage. But there is an opportunity to break ground. They are not yet permitted. A lot of the fees and things in place that need to be covered will take care of the permitting to get started on the project. The land as is, it's located in Silicon Valley, very nice location. The as is land value is at 44.8 million. And we just need about 15 million to take out that mortgage, that existing mortgage for 11 million and some additional fees that are on top of that.
So you're searching right now for the partner?
Well, I am. She would rather not do a JV. So just someone that's willing to, you get a lot of lenders that are not looking to go outside of normal. I want to say not normal, but rather traditional styles of mortgages. And so, you need someone that's in that private sector. And that's actually kind of what I work towards. I work towards getting more familiar with those that are in the private sector. And one goal in mind is to ultimately become the bank, right? Because there's just so many different projects that are, not necessarily traditional anymore. They're not considered traditional anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been the most difficult. So for someone to kind of look outside the box and, fund the client outside of her flaws, which, she's got quite a few. She was there's an EB5 complaint, followed by an SEC infraction. It's like, but she was all cleared from that. And so lenders are terrified and they're running away like, oh, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved. But there's opportunity in taking risk.
Yeah, LaDonna, this is Tom. I think I owe you a call, right?
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been a bit busy. But yeah. I could probably help you with that. I work with some private family office money that only looks at the real estate, not necessarily the borrower. So we can take that offline.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any more questions for me? I know. I've got quite a few, Colin.
Well, just keep going.
Yeah, we all benefit.
I've got quite a few, and it's, you know, they're hard to close. There's so many, but just getting down to the basis of understanding the deal. There's value in understanding the projects, right? So some of them just take a little bit more time. These larger projects, they take time, as you all know. And then I'm working on, I've got a direct to seller on a 1.5 billion portfolio in Canada, Ontario, Brampton, Caledon area of Canada. And, you know, that's a value add as well. There's an opportunity to build 800 to 1,600 condos in a particular area. And, you know, there's some of the land that is zoned agricultural. So knowing your zoning and how that will benefit the client in the long run. And, you know, in terms of, you know, well, how long does it have to stay agricultural versus, you know, is that ultimately where it can only benefit that particular sector? You know, it's challenging, but for the most part, like I said.
Hey, LaDonna, when you say value add, what does that mean?
Well, value add means basically the buyer that's going to take over the entity, you know, is it going to add value to their portfolio? So if they want to kind of sit on it and whatever they decide to do with it is going to ultimately add value to their portfolio.
Okay.
Yeah, it could also mean as simple as, you know, buying let's say a retail tenant moves out of a space in a shopping center, which decreases the value, and you can buy undervalue by understanding how you can replace that tenant with another tenant or some other kind of use. So value add can be a number of things.
Yes, that's the more complex area of focus.
Value adds is truly, like, right now, if you really think about it, the real estate space, it's going through a huge transition, right? Every asset class is being challenged, right? And I see even core plus asset, which you would say, unless it's an Amazon backed lease for 20 years, right? There is no value add there. But anything else, whether it's office, multifamily, retail, there is opportunity to create more value by re-tenanting the building, you know, getting a tenant out, luring another tenant in with some other attractive features in the building. You know, maybe you install, like, you know, eye scanners to go in and out of the building, or you install a better signage, you know, create an operable door front where, you know, let's say if it's a fitness club, right? All of a sudden people are very hesitant going back to these fitness clubs. But if you add some biophilic elements, right, you know, do operable windows, those kind of things, it becomes more valuable. It becomes more valuable for the tenant because it's going to allow you to lure more people to that space, right? Even office building, you know, I know in New York and all the other markets. I was in Chicago a few weeks ago, and you're looking at this big tower. And yeah, a stable tower with $1 billion valuation is partially vacant. What do you do with it now? There was a time where credit tenants will come and take over, you know, chunks of 100,000 square feet in these kind of towers, and now they're shying. So what do you do with those floors? You need to put your thinking hat and come up with ways to create value. Maybe you amenitize few floors by bringing some other users into the building.Maybe you reconfigure a mixed-use building. You know, maybe you convert X number of floors from office to residential, right? There are like a lot of ways to incorporate value. Yeah.
Yeah, there's good. One thing to think about for anybody looking at value add as a broker, because there's good and bad. First of all, if it's complicated value add, think of buyers as a pyramid. And obviously the easier the deal, then it's the bottom of the pyramid. As you go up, then there's going to be fewer buyers for that kind of project, because it's going to be more difficult to understand. Now, having said that, the one tool that you would have, and you touched on it, which is important, is product knowledge. In other words, you know more about that than anybody else. Know more about that so that you can answer any question. So you might be talking to the director of acquisitions of a large REIT, but you're going to know more than he knows. And then getting back to the other part of it, which makes it difficult, is anybody has to accept the assumptions that somebody is going to make with respect to, okay, that building is now vacant. Well, we can't really put one tenant into that 35,000 square foot building. Well, maybe we can bifurcate it and put two tenants in there. So you've got to have that information with respect to, if you're going to have two tenants, then the rent should be better than what the existing, one tenant would pay, but then also what's the cost of bifurcating the space? Or, I mean, you're seeing things out here. It's amazing. I mean, a lot of mini storage, I don't know, that's a term. There's probably a better term now, just storage, is going into buildings like this. It could be medical. It could be a number of things, but there is tremendous opportunities and profits in value add, but your buyer pool is limited, and so what you need to know is just as much as you can to be able to answer those questions, to be able to get somebody interested in in doing that.
Completely agree.
So LaDonna, with your deals that you have, the opportunities, maybe it's a good idea to put those down and you can share them, because I think what we can do is take a closer look at those after this, with your permission and your seller's interest in getting extra eyeballs on it.
Absolutely.
Great, thank you for sharing all that. And I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to share. Greg, do you have anything going on in Vegas right now?
Mainly, what I do is 80% office, 20% industrial flex space. So office, I have a few deals going on, but they're typical normal right now. One for sale, one building I'm leasing multiple units on. So they're nothing extraordinary about them. Going through due diligence on the office building for sale. Nothing really unusual on my end of the deals. Well, of course, after doing it for so many years, there's not much that's unusual. No, it's all usual right now. But I did come over from residential about 30 years ago. The first 5 years was residential, then 30 years ago I switched over to commercial. So I've been doing commercial a long time, and basically stuck by, when I was in Chicago, I worked at downtown Chicago market. I worked at high rises, the office buildings down there. Don't do retail, don't do multifamily. Occasionally I'll do a land deal if it involves building an office building on it, something like that. But just mainly office, and it goes over to flex and industrial when the person wants office and industrial both. So
Great. Thanks for sharing that. And anything in particular that's going on at the moment that you want to share that is, let's say, or something that you're pursuing?
Well, right now, what is unusual right now is office right now in Las Vegas has become a hotspot. It's really picked up quite a bit. We had office in Las Vegas that was on the market for 300 days plus, and now everything's selling, everything's leasing, and we're getting multiple offers on the leases, which is really amazing. And it's a lot of companies mainly downsizing their office. So they're going down from 10,000, they're going down to 4,000 square feet. They have most of their employees work from home now. So, and what makes it more difficult now is trying to lease up that 10,000 square feet that just became vacant. That is where they're going to be splitting up those units, I imagine, in the future and making them multi-units. But yeah, office has become really high, especially for so. If it's priced right per square foot, you're looking at $250 per square foot in Las Vegas. If you get an office building price like that, you're gonna sell it, and you're gonna sell it pretty quick. The ones that are sitting out there right now are getting greedy. They're up in the 290s, 300 per square foot, and they're sitting there, but they're just greedy. So, but office surprisingly became hot after being the product that took the longest to come together for so many years in this town. It was, you know, office, you did deals, but they took a while to put together. But now they're just flipping one way or another. So that's a good thing for office here.
Thank you for sharing. Well, we're getting about, we got, I don't know, 5 to 10 more minutes here. Mike, do you want to talk about anything you're working on right now? I don't know if he's, I know he's muted. I just don't know if he's listening.
I have a question.
Sorry, who said?
Yeah,
Oh, Dimitri, yeah.
This is Dimitri. I think somebody mentioned assisted living facility that they were working on.
Yeah, Tom.
I have a client, they're looking to, they're looking to, they currently have 4 different properties, and they're looking to consolidate into one bigger space, like 100 to 150 beds. I've been looking around, can't find anything on the market. We've been looking at some like old schools or anything that can be redeveloped. Anybody has experience with this type of deals and where to find them? I mean, it's a pretty big facility. They do not come on the market every day. Who to approach, where to go? Any advice?
I've seen a lot of assisted living facility actually in the redevelopment space, you know, whether it's, you know, a lot of, like you said, schools or anything that pretty much can be built out that has that, that sort of ability to build there. You know, you have to look at your zoning. So, I mean, there's opportunity there for sure. You might have to build out, but you know, give or take, it's a great market for it.
Yeah, assisted living facilities it's a pretty specialized product. You know, they're all licensed by the local social services department. And it's kind of a combination of business and real estate. So it's definitely not just real estate. And there's a lot of regulation. Because of that, there are just not that many listings of them. The ones that are listed are generally asking for a pretty large premium, or they're in distress in one way or the other. But you know, in the last 5 years or so, assisted living has been pretty strong. Just the senior demand has been obviously it got hit a little bit with well, quite a bit with COVID. You know, there's a big scare with assisted living. I think most of that has been resolved. You know, you know, I mean, you may start seeing assisted living operators sell later on, but right now is I don't think they're going to go on market just because doing a sale right now would be difficult with all the sensitivities around COVID and even a distressed property that maybe been ravaged by COVID or something. It's not like you're going to be able to kick those residents out. So it's a very sensitive time. I wouldn't suggest any buddy to sell a distressed property at this time, because it's just there's just not a lot of ways to close that deal. But the non-distressed properties are going to ask for premium. So I mean, I would actually suggest to look for repositioning assets that can be converted to assisted living, like potentially struggling hotels, and other type of facilities. But you have to check with the local health department whether they allow those kind of conversions, and also ground up development, because one thing going for assisted living is that it can fit in a lot of zonings. A lot of times it can go straight into commercial with a conditional use permit. It can go straight into residential with a conditional use permit. So it's one of those product types that can fit into a lot of different types of zoning, existing zoning, and also it's very not impactful in terms of it doesn't require a lot of parking. It doesn't require a lot of traffic. The residents don't really drive, so you can build them almost anywhere in terms of environmental impact is very low. So it's a good product to run with if you have the right operator, developer, or tenant. But it's definitely in the high demand. So.
I think Mike mentioned something. Mike, do you want to mention about your project?
Guys, I got to jump off. This is Steve. Thanks.
Okay.
Talk
Thanks.
soon. Tom, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.
Yep.
All right, Steve. We have a few more minutes left, guys. Anything? You can always reach out to us. You have our email addresses. I'm just assuming, does everyone has our email addresses? Yes, no?
Gaurav, I think because you're not, you don't have that handle. If you could just drop it in the chat, that would be good.
Yeah, please take a note of our, and anything, all the stuff that we are discussing right now, right? And you can come back, like we'll be again doing the Q&A here in 2 weeks. But in the meanwhile, if there is anything that you're working on, and if you need, advice on how to put the deal together, whether it's, on any of these fronts, deeper dive into it. And I know some of you may, we know that, because after we finished the session, we received emails that, hey, there was a deal I wanted to talk about, but I couldn't talk in a bigger group because of confidentiality reasons. So feel free to reach out to us, and we can arrange a one-on-one session with you. We can walk you through whatever you're working on. Doesn't matter which part of the country, doesn't matter what asset type it is, doesn't matter what level of complexity are you dealing with, whether it's a buyout, whether it's a development side, it's value add. We have enough experience, among three of us, and a lot of connections in any sub-market around the nation that we can help you come up with a positive outcome. Because our goal is, one thing you would see in commercial, and some of our friends here, I won't name anyone, are learning it. Residential deals in a way are straightforward, right? If I've decided to sell my house, I'm going to sell, right? And you are a residential broker in a neighborhood, all you depend, pretty much who's looking at buying in that neighborhood. So it all become very one neighborhood specific. And most of the times the deals will trade. In commercial, that's not the case. Commercial, an investor who is investing in, let's say, Chicago, is also comparing to similar investment types in other cities, because he's looking at a 4 cap, right? He's looking at getting a return out of it. If he can get a 4 cap return in his local market and somewhere else he can get an 8 cap, right? Of course, he's going to invest where it's 8 cap. So commercial deals do not trade that easily. You could find yourself spinning your wheels on numerous deals, right? If I claim I made, over the years I've bought, for different investors, close to $2.5 billion worth of deals. I must have 150 billion in square footage, or just in deal size. For every 1 deal I closed, I must be spending time on 50 more deals. So you will find yourself in that situation, right? So you can leverage our experience in really creating a win-win for both the sides. No one gets paid till, like, again, especially in the brokerage world, if the deal doesn't close, you don't get paid. You're spinning your wheel. Our involvement can allow you to become from just a bidder to a winning bidder. Or if you're representing a client, he's looking at acquiring something, he's spinning his wheels, bidding. You are the one who is doing all the running around. He's like, yeah, make an offer there, make an offer there. How do you become a winning bidder? That's what we can truly bring to the table here. There's a secret sauce, but not that secret, right? We can really talk about it like in general, and then we can get very specific about the particular opportunity you are working on. And we can clearly show you the way of making that happen so that you can get paid at the end of the day. Okay, with that said,
Gaurav, just so that they know, I mean, there's the theory and then there's the application, and we have workplace. You guys are all part of the chat, I'm presuming. If you're not in the CCG workplace group, or if you know somebody in EXP who wants to join the group, just invite them. And we're strongly encouraging you to drop us a line. Now, Gaurav and Steve don't actively use workplace. So what you can do is you can ping me any deals that you're working on.
I'm not even affiliated with EXP, right? So I'm bringing my 20 years of principal experience right to the table here. So it's very, anything
objective for third party. Yeah. So, and I think that's the advantage of this group, is that you're going to get the best cross section between Tom, Steve, and Gaurav to interject on various opportunities that you're coming across. And we want to keep it really organized within the group. So if you want to just ping us, something comes up, just let us know. I see a lot of people advertising different things in the workplace, which is fine, but I think that's a lot of noise, and we're trying to get really down to the deals. So, just keep us in mind, because we really want to help you, especially right now. So many properties are being transacted on with 1031 exchanges and deadlines before the end of the year. We know that with your clients, they have direct needs and maybe timelines that they have to fulfill. So we want to help you. And is there anything else you want to say, Tom? I know Tom is one of our...
I'm good.
Yeah, we just really want to support you guys and, help you with these deals, be your team on this stuff. So thank you so much for everybody's participation today, and look forward to the next one. We'll be making the announcement within a week or so after Labor Day.
And have a great Labor Day, everyone.
Colin,
Thank you everybody for sharing.
Colin,
Yeah.
Everybody, good luck.